Hey, Boost students. Today we're going to continue our grammar work and we're going to look again at usage. Remember, we already have done the first part of usage, and when we talk about usage, what we mean is that we're using the correct word in the correct situation. So today we're going to look at some more words and the correct usage. All right, the first set of words we're going to look at today are learn and teach. To learn means to receive knowledge, means you're the student, you're the one gaining knowledge. Trisha learns about astronomy is our example here. If you look at the girl in the picture, she's learning by reading. There are lots of different ways that you can learn information. But basically, you're going to use learn anytime you're gaining new knowledge. Teach means giving new knowledge. This is something that people who are teachers or sometimes your fellow students do. They give you new knowledge. In this example, Mr. Bonilla teaches Spanish. Lovely Mr. Bonilla here. Hopefully you never have teachers that look like Mr. Bonilla. Teaching is something that can be done by anybody, but it's basically any time that they're giving you new knowledge, they're teaching. You don't want to say, learn me how to do this. You're going to say, teach me how to do this. All right, the next set of words we're going to look at is loose versus lose. Loose means not firmly attached. His pants are too loose. In the example here, the shoestring is loose. It's not firmly attached. Lose, with one O, can mean two different things. It can mean to misplace, as in don't lose the key, or you won't be able to get in the house, or it might mean to not win. I hope we don't lose the game. Both of those are with one O. If you include two O's, it means not firmly attached or not firmly fitting, not fitting correctly. Loose. All right, our next set of words is raise and rise. Raise means to cause to move upward. Please raise your hands. That's an action that you are doing, you're causing. Rise means to move upward. It's when something is moving upward on its own. For example, a hot air balloon. The hot air balloon began to rise. You use raise when it requires an action on your part, when you're causing it to happen, and you use rise when it's moving on its own accord without you being necessary. All right, our next set of verbs is set, S-E-T, versus sit, S-I-T. Set means to place or to put. Please set your paper on the table means please put place your paper on the table. Sit, S-I-T, means to put yourself in a seated position. Don't sit on wet paint. Please sit Indian style. Basically, set is when you're doing it to something else. Sit is when you're putting yourself in a seated position. All right, the next set of words we're going to look at is than, T-H-A-N, and then, T-H-E-N. Than introduces the second part of a comparison. He is taller than Sarah. We're comparing he and Sarah, and the than introduces the second part. Then means at that time. We will see you then. We will see you at that time. All right, this next one is one that gets mixed up all the time and drives your English teachers absolutely crazy. These are the three different theirs. T-H-E-I-R means belonging to them. This is their house. T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E is a contraction, meaning they are. They are leaving for vacation. T-H-E-R-E indicates a location. Put your shoes over there. This is one that is frequently missed, so take a minute and study this and make sure you understand and correctly use there. All right, up next we're looking at whose, W-H-O-S-E and W-H-O apostrophe S. W-H-O-S-E means belonging to who or whom. Whose striped sock is this? Meaning who does this striped sock belong to? W-H-O apostrophe S is another contraction. It means who is. Who's knocking on the door? Meaning who is knocking on the door. All right, up next we have another frequently missed one and another one that will make your English teachers batty. It's the three different to's. T-O-O means also or in excess. Can my friend come to the movie too? Can my friend come to the movie also? there are too many people in this elevator, meaning there are an excessive number of people in this elevator. Use TOO for also or excess. TWO is a number, okay, the number 2. Humans have 2 hands and 2 feet, okay? It's when we're counting, we use TWO. TO is basically used for everything else. Let's go to Jan's house to play video games. Now, this next one is kind of a tricky one, but it doesn't actually end up coming up that often. But I want to just make sure you understand the difference between and among. Between is used for a comparison between 2 things or people. The treaty was made between the United States and France. When you're just comparing 2 things, you use between. If you're comparing 3 or more things, you're going to use among. The 6 new students discussed the schedule among themselves. So anytime you're making a comparison, think about how many things or people are being compared. If it's 2, use between. If it's 3 or more, use among. All right. This last one is a little bit tricky, leave versus let. Leave basically means to go away. We will leave for the game soon, where you're going somewhere else, you're going away. Let means to allow. You might say, let me carry that package for you. Now, where this one gets tricky is in leave me alone. Everybody wants to say, leave me alone, which really, if you say, go away me alone, doesn't really make sense. But allow me to be alone makes more sense. So instead of saying, leave me alone, you should say, let me alone. But nobody does. All right, that brings us to the end of our usage study for today. You can go back and rewatch this if you need to, and then work on the practice problems on your worksheet.